Hey John, which YouTube channel are you most excited about watching today?
I'm excited. iCave.
Makes sense. I'm iCaveDave and I simplify Apple so that everything just works for you, and if you want the latest Apple news, leaks and rumours every weekday at 12 UTC, like this video, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so that you do not miss a thing. And today we're talking about app tracking transparency and how it's actually a good thing for Facebook. But before we move on, the results from yesterday's What the Hell Is This video. So I showed you this and we have winners. The winners are Joao Gomes, Gabriel Shetterley, Larry West, Daniel Suzuki, Keith Becker, and AMETV. You all nailed it, and it is the Apple iSight camera from around 2005, the G5 time frame, and I think this thing is beautiful, and I like the shutter on it. Twisty little shutter. It uses Firewire, so it's not really much use today, but just the design aesthetic, the way that it matches with the G5 towers, and the kind of old style Mac Pro device, I think it's a really cool thing. So thank you everyone for entering the competition. We will do some more of this next week, I think, because it's kind of fun. So into apps, into Apple's app tracking transparency. Now you will probably have started to see some of these prompts popping up when you are opening apps like Instagram and Facebook, but only around about 4% of users are clicking allow. But this is actually really quite good for Facebook. How on earth could it be good for Facebook, you ask? Well, when Apple announced the feature in WWDC last year, 2020, that's right, it's been nearly a year since it was announced, Facebook panicked and lashed out. They ran full-page ads in various publications on how Apple was targeting small businesses. Not Facebook, even they are self-aware enough to know that even the average consumer isn't going to fall for that one, but that small businesses that relied on being able to accurately target their adverts to the kind of people that wanted to buy their stuff. I'm not sure that Facebook users are as put out by the concept of targeted adverts for small businesses as they are of the idea of being tracked across the whole internet by Facebook, while the company allowed their ad product to be abused, aggravating their worst political and racial biases in order to turn elections. Now, it must be said that this wasn't the way that Facebook intended their service to be used either, but when you have a huge amount of personal data on your users, that it can be used not just to target advertising for a nice bag, but also to play on and amplify people's fears in order to influence their political leanings in any direction. And if you think I'm just talking about the US, I'm not. I live in the UK, and the same thing happened here, which resulted in us crashing out of the EU, and we now have our navy defending our fishing waters from the evil independent French fishermen near Jersey. Not the one next door to New York, the tiny, slightly pointless island off the coast of France that we like to argue about when the news is quiet for a bit. So how can this app tracking transparency actually help Facebook? Even when Facebook can't look at what people are doing outside of their app, they still have all the data about what you do inside the app. And the outside the app part only counts when you're on the iPhone or the iPad, so there's no Facebook app for the Mac, and this is probably part of their reason for that, because it is way harder to block that tracking on the desktop in Safari or other browsers. But as we spend more and more of our time using the internet and social media platforms on our phones instead of a traditional computer, many users only have a phone. The big losers in terms of data are people like Google, as if they only have the search data. It's a much smaller data set than what Facebook can get from their own platform, as Facebook still sees what time of day you use them, what brands you interact with, your sentiments on them, and the people you interact with, and what they like, and more. App tracking transparency doesn't stop Facebook from profiling you and serving you relevant ads. It just means that on your iPhone or your iPad, if you say ask ad not to track, then the app doesn't get your device's unique identifier or IDA to match up with data from other apps. What you do within the app is still building an image of who you are and what you're interested in, and at least for now, a lot of people are still spending a lot of time interacting on Facebook. The reason that this is an advantage for Facebook is that most other apps will find the value of their adverts declining, especially games for example, where you won't really share any data, so their adverts will be a lot less valuable to advertisers and more generalised, so Facebook will be comparatively way more useful. But I'd probably still click on that ask not to track button if I were you. There's actually not a huge amount of news today, so iCaveDave.com/merch, and there's not even any coffee in here because it's only just arrived, it's still got the label in it. But this is our dark mode always, so I don't know if this is actually going to focus in. It's very subtle on the text, which I kind of like, but I think this is kind of cool. I quite like this mug. I have got a t-shirt on the way with it, and then the other one that we've got is obviously our Hello Mac, which I still think this one's awesome. And I actually got a sticker with it as well. So you can grab these die cut stickers too, and yes, that is an iPhone 12 mini in purple at the back there. We've unboxed it, it's my wife's one. Video coming. But moving into iCave answers.
Team Kinetics asks, iCave answers, what are your thoughts on the pricing of the rumored 14-inch and 16-inch M1X MacBook Pro machines for 2021?
Cool, so there's some different options here. If we look at what is still in the Intel range in MacBook Pros, in order to work out where we're going with this, I think that's the best way. So we're looking at keeping the 13-inch MacBook Pro for now with M1. I think the 14-inch is going to come with M1X, and it's going to start at $17.99. That's my expectation, because that is the next level up on the MacBook Pro 13-inch on Apple's website right now. Now, if they are getting the mini LED displays, Apple may well justify a $100 increase in the price, the same as they did with the iPad Pro. So it could start at $18.99, but I think they're going to try and push it to $17.99. The 13-inch will stay at $12.99 for now, and then I think in the next refresh, we're likely to get the M2 version coming into the 14-inch form factor, maybe with a $100 price bump, and then with the MacBook Air staying at the lower prices. That's my thoughts. In terms of the 16-inch, I believe they start at $23.99 right now. That seems about right to me for an M1X 16-inch MacBook Pro.
Sturgis Mike asks, iCave answers, after hearing all the discussion of ports, port availability hubs, docks, and EWaste minimization, I've been wondering, why aren't there any modular docks being developed out there? As things currently sit, it looks like someone in a cubicle decides what kind of ports, number of ports, arrangement, etc. It would be really nice to be able to pick and choose my own dock setup, up to and including full-blown modules that are not just plug-in ports. Want a 10G network port, pop one in, rather than having it hanging from the dock. It becomes integral to the dock needs storage. Pop an SSD module in that puppy, maybe two, and RAID them. Maybe such a thing already exists, but I haven't found one yet.
Okay, so on the e-waste issue, if you were to make something that's modular like that, you're actually creating more e-waste because you can't make all of the components as small and packed in together. So from that point of view, because you've got to have connectors, which may well be USB-C, so you're basically just taking a cable out of the equation and plugging them together. So I don't think there's an argument from the e-waste point of view. I don't think that's as legitimate when you actually come down to the manufacturing side of things. In terms of who's deciding what goes in there, there's a huge range out there of different docks and different hubs. Some do already include that 10 gig Ethernet, I believe. There's some others that already include SSD docks. So all of these things are out there. The only way that you will get what you want exactly is to basically speak to the manufacturers and say, look, this would be our ideal one. I'm just interested in kind of what people would want in a dock that plugs into their two USB ports. I'm assuming we're talking for the MacBooks here, so that you can have it as a desk setup. So let me know down in the comments what you guys would want on your ideal hub for an M1 Mac. But yes, pretty much all of the stuff that you've mentioned does exist. Not necessarily all in the same form factor, but having a modular one is basically just the same as plugging together a bunch of dongles. It just looks a little bit more elegant.
Do you think the idea has merit? Just an ordinary person asks. iCave answers, how long in advance do you think that Apple records their events? I think that WWDC is already recorded.
From what we understand, it's about 3 months that they typically will do the video for these events. However, that doesn't mean that the final video is sitting there somewhere in a cupboard waiting to be put out on the internet. It means that all of the footage has been shot, and I'm pretty sure that Apple will have multiple options for different segments, because they're not going to know necessarily 3 months out exactly how the development process is going to go in terms of when manufacturing is ready for physical products, which software features are going to work. So I would assume the way that they actually film these is in a way that plans in different chunks being inserted and removed as are needed at the time that they're actually making these videos. When the editor comes to put everything together, they will have multiple options. They'll be basically given a list of the things that we are including and which shots they need to include. So that is my expectation, is that everything has been filmed already. They won't have assembled it into a usable video just yet. I would say that that's probably going to happen middle of this month, so they're probably about 4 weeks out before the actual WWDC that they actually kind of assemble it into a final thing, and they're like, right, this is what we're going to announce, so let's focus all of the effort on that so that these parts are definitely ready to roll out with the beta versions of the software. So yeah, WWDC is only just around the corner as well, so it's very exciting, good times. If you have any particular features that you want to see in the new versions of the software, because we are hearing very little right now, I know there's a lot of concept artists out there doing some stuff around the way that iOS and iPadOS might look, bringing it slightly closer to macOS Big Sur with the kind of slightly more depth to things and shadows coming back instead of the very, very flat design that we have right now. Let me know what kind of features you would be interested in for both the Mac, iPad, iPhone, and what you think they might bring software-wise to the watch. Let me know down in the comments, and if you've got any questions, #iCaveAnswers. I'd love to answer them in next week's videos. Thanks so much, see you then.